Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan and welcome to Foodiligence, the place where I eat the food so you don't have to, but in some cases you might want to. Today we are reviewing sour strips by Actual Candy, so let's get into it.
Let's go!
In today's video, we are going to be eating every single flavor of sour strips. So we have blue raspberry, strawberry, mango, and rainbow. And I'm going to tell you what's good, what's bad, and just give you a general overall consensus on the candy. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you some background information on the candy. So you may or may not know the brand of this candy is called Actual Candy, and then the candy itself is sour strips. They're produced by a YouTuber named Maxx Chewning, who felt that sour candy just wasn't sour enough, so he set out to make his own sour candy, and I can personally relate to that sentiment. I hate when I get sour candy that's not actually sour. I've made my own sour candy and I got to make that stuff as sour as I wanted. So the secret with it is you have citric acid and sugar, you put those together, and that's the coating on the outside. That's what makes the candy sour. The citric acid is straight sour, so you have to combine it with sugar. When I found out that citric acid is the sour part of the candy and I had just a whole jar sitting in my pantry, I was putting that thing on everything for a week. Everything I ate was sour and I loved every second of it. I was eating an unhealthy amount of citric acid, so I had to cool my jets a little bit. This candy was made to be actually sour, so I am very excited to eat some real sour candy and see if it lives up to the hype. This candy can be extremely hard to get. It sells out within like an hour of it being released online, and they're about $4 a bag. So I was able to secure every single one of them, and we're gonna try them today. So let's get started. So we're going to judge these sour candies by two criteria: how sour they are and then how flavorful they are. The reason we're doing this because sour candy should be sour, but it also should still have a good flavor to it. So we don't want something that's just overwhelmingly sour and that's it, but we also don't want something that just tastes really good and then has no sourness, because then that's just candy, not sour candy. So we're breaking it down into two criteria just to get the most accurate representation of how good this candy is. So let's move on to our blue raspberry flavor. The blue raspberry sour strip has light and dark blue streaks in it, and then it is thoroughly covered in a sugar and citric acid mix. The best part of this candy is when you bite into it, you get an initial sweetness, and then the sourness just hits you in the face afterwards, leaving your lips puckering when you're done eating it. And that is the best part of a sour candy. I don't want it to be sweet all the way through. I want it to be sour. So the blue raspberry sour meter, I have to put at an 8 or a 9. It is super sour. And flavor-wise, I'm also going to put it at probably a 9 because it has a great tart blue raspberry flavor. So it doesn't taste like a sugary blue raspberry flavor, but it tastes like an actual like berry and tartness, and it has a really good flavor in it. I think it's super impressive how well the marriage between sour and the flavor. So the whole time your lips are puckering, but you're still getting your flavor. You're not just getting hit with sour and then getting hit with flavor at the end. It's a perfect marriage of the two, and I think that's what makes this flavor so amazing, is that you have two dimensions of flavors working in your mouth at the same time. This strawberry one is just a solid red piece of candy, and it is still thoroughly covered in citric acid, so I am very excited. So in terms of sourness, I'm going to give the strawberry a 7, and then in terms of flavor, I'm going to give the strawberry a 10, because this thing has a lot of sweetness on the initial bite, and it has some good sour in it, but it isn't as sour as the blue raspberry one. The flavor, on the other hand, was perfect. It is exactly what a strawberry tastes like, and it is an ideal strawberry flavoring. I ate it next to a strawberry and it tasted spot on, and I was just so impressed. But We're not trying to eat healthy fruit here. This tasted like a beautiful sugary strawberry nature's candy, and it was just so amazing. I wish that it was a little more sour, but I understand that if you're gonna get the flavor this spot on, I can't even complain about this sourness not being enough. It was just so amazing, and I loved every second of eating that one. But if I had to compare it to the blue raspberry, I like the blue raspberry a little bit more because it was more sour, but this thing has some amazing flavor to it. That's enough about the strawberry one. Let's move on to the rainbow. Alright, so the rainbow sour strip is a green, red, yellow, and blue strip covered in citric acid. So rainbow is actually not a flavor, in case you didn't know, but it is actually a combination of different flavors. So let's get into this. On the sour meter, I'm going to give the rainbow an 8, and then on the flavor meter, I'm going to give it a 7. It's more sour than the strawberry, but less sour than the blue raspberry, so that puts it right at an 8. But flavor-wise, I just feel like there's a lot going on and there's no distinct flavor. So I'm getting a lot of peach kind of flavor, and I'm sure there's some strawberry, there's some blue raspberry maybe. There's some other things, but I get a lot of, it just kind of all turns into like a peachy flavor to me, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I just wish there was a more distinct flavor because it kind of just takes away from the overall feel of the candy. That being said, it's still really good and I would eat it without a question, but it's gonna be third on my list of sour strips. Enough talking about the rainbow flavor, let's move on to the new mango flavor. So this mango is just a solid yellow strip of candy, and then it is also thoroughly covered in citric acid and sugars, so that is beautiful. The rainbow is actually the new flavor, so a lot of people haven't gotten to try it yet, and I'm excited to try it. Now, disclaimer for everyone is I hate mangoes. I know that's a strong statement, but I don't know what it is. I just feel like every mango I've ever had kind of tastes like dirt, and I'm pretty sure that I might be mildly allergic to mangoes. So in sourness, I'm going to give the mango a 6, and then in flavor, I'm going to give the mango a 7. So it was not sour enough. It was kind of disappointingly unsour, and that is just so disappointing because every candy we had today was super sour, and that's just the basis of this candy is how sour it is. Still more sour than a lot of candies I've ever had, but it wasn't enough compared to the other ones. Flavor-wise, though, it actually has a really good mango flavor, so what I judge that by is I can actually eat it. That's a good rating for me. Like, that's the highest I can give mango, because I don't like mango, but if I can eat it without being disgusted by it, then it has to be pretty good. It's not all mango, so it's tropical mango. So the first half of it is your tropical. I feel like you get a little coconut, a little pineapple kind of vibes going, and you get like a beachy feel in your mouth, and then the mango hits hard. It's like beach vibes, mango. I wish the tropical part of this could blend with the mango and it'd be like an overall flavor than just like a two fuel rocket where it's like tropical and then drops off and then it's mango blasters. That's enough about mango. Let's get into the general overall consensus on sour strips. So they're very sour, just across the board, and then they have really accurate flavors on them, so I think that's very important. Your sour candy be sour, right? We discussed that in nauseum, and then the flavors on these things were very surprising. They did a really good job just doing the research and development on the flavors and picking the right ones. I'm sure it was a painstaking process, but it was worth it. And there's not a sour strip that I wouldn't eat. Yes, there's sour strips I prefer over the others, but I would eat all of them without any questions. Overall, sour strips are worth your time. Make sure you go out, get some sour strips. I know they're at some stores, so keep an eye out for them, and next time that they're available online, make sure you grab a bag or two. So if we have any fans of Maxx Chewning here, my bold prediction for his next flavor is going to be green apple, because we all know Max eats his green apples every morning for health, right? So I think him making a sour green apple flavor would not be out of the question, especially because if you look at the rainbow flavor, it has the green stripe in it. So it has every other color stripe is in the rainbow flavor besides the green one. So I am boldly predicting green apple will be the next sour strips flavor. You heard it here first, folks. My name is Ryan. You've been watching Foodiligence. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, make sure you hit the like button if you like the video and hit the subscribe button to be notified of the weekly uploads. It really helps the channel grow and it really means a lot to me personally. If you have any suggestions for future videos that I should make sure you leave a comment down below. I am always excited to eat food. That's what I do here. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.